I'm an October baby. I love October. I love everything about October. So if you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering what Zinetober is. It's basically a creative challenge that gives you different prompts of what to make your zine about for 31 days of October. Zinetober exists to push your creativity to the next level by creating a large body of work in a short amount of time. It's all about being consistent with your creation and sharing what you create with others. Similar to Inktober, where you draw something every day in October with ink, or maybe you've heard of Peachtober, where you draw cute little doodles every day of October. Zinetober is basically the same as those prompt challenges, except for you're making zines. And the purpose of Zinetober, like those other Tober challenges, is to create a habit of creating things.
Do I have to make a zine every single day of October? I have things to do. I have a job. Rent is due today, Bree.
No, you don't have to make a zine every single day of October. You're just really encouraged to, because you want to get into the habit of forcing yourself to make something, you know, instead of waiting around for inspiration to strike. Zinetober is all about getting you to sit down, looking at the prompt, seeing how you can make a zine of that prompt, whether it's literally or maybe you find your own meaning in it. The purpose is just to create this positive habit of creating zines. Whether you make one every single day of October, or maybe you skip every other day, or maybe you make one every week. The main thing you want to focus on is being consistent, whatever that means to you. It's just true that the more you do something, the more you make mistakes, you'll learn from those mistakes, and the more that you learn from those mistakes, you'll create better art, and when you're creating better art, you'll build confidence within yourself and your creative abilities. So that's what Zinetober is all about. It's about pushing you to trust in yourself, trust that you can create things, trust that you can make zines on demand, and just making that habit of creating stuff. And completing this challenge will give you a literal paper trail, a literal paper trail of the progress you've made throughout October that you can look back on. So who can participate in Zinetober? Well, the same way that anyone can make a zine, anyone can participate in Zinetober. I know that a lot of these prompt challenges are posted on Instagram or Twitter, but just so you know, you don't need to post these online in order to participate in this challenge. I do encourage you to share your work with someone. Like if you're not going to post it online, I do encourage you to share with a friend, or maybe leave some zines at your local library, or maybe even at the bus stop, whatever. You do want to create art, and a big part of Zinetober is participating in the zine community or the art community. You know, you want to be able to share your work with others, not necessarily to get feedback, but just to hold yourself accountable. By having to post it and share it online or with a friend or whoever knows that you're doing Zinetober, then you kind of are holding yourself to this responsibility of like, oh, I actually am participating. I'm being for real. Like if you want to do it for real, then you have to share your zines with someone. I really encourage you to do that. It doesn't have to be online, but just share it with someone. And if you decide that you don't want to share with someone, you know, that's fine too. Like I really encourage you to, because I think that really adds to the challenge. But if you want to make zines that are for your eyes only, that's okay too. Which brings us into why you should participate in Zinetober. Doing a Zinetober challenge will really help you push through potential roadblocks that are getting in the way of your productivity as a creative person. By forcing yourself to sit down and make a new zine every single day or every week or whatever, you're allowing yourself to express in a consistent way that maybe you're not used to. Zinetober will push you to create a large body of work in a short amount of time. 31 days is not that long if you think about it. And I think by just making all of this work in that short amount of time, it really will help build your confidence. The more you do this and the more you push yourself to create zines, the more confidence you'll build within yourself that shows you that you can make zines. I know that sounds confusing, right? But the more that you do it and the more that you can see with your eyes this visual body of work, the more you'll be able to trust yourself as a zine maker. And I think by over time of participating in Zinetober, you'll realize that whatever the responses you get to your work, it won't really matter. I mean, it may affect you. I'm not going to say it won't, but you won't have much time to think about that because you're already on the next prompt. You know, you don't have time to worry about the criticism or the feedback that you're getting. It's all important, and constructive criticism is important too, but that's not really what this is about. It's just about making stuff. And like I said earlier, oh my gosh, us glasses wearers in the battle of the ring light. Has this ring been in my eyes the whole time? But like I said earlier, you shouldn't be making these zines to impress people. Like you shouldn't put pressure on yourself to make these zines to appeal to anyone other than yourself. Your focus should be on making whatever that prompt inspires you to make. I know that's so corny and cliche, okay, right? I feel you, but there's truth in following your heart. I really believe in that. For example, and what I'm about to say definitely warrants a trigger warning, so if you don't want to hear mention of this stuff, please skip ahead to this timestamp because I don't want to trigger anyone, and I know not everybody wants to hear this, so please feel free to skip ahead. But I just want to give you an example of what I think it means to be inspired to create, because I hate when people are like, just follow your heart, follow your bliss, and it's like, okay, what exactly does that mean? You know, like, I don't want to be shallow like that, so I'm just going to give you a personal example of when I was inspired to create from an experience I had, or just I was inspired to create something based on what I was feeling without needing permission from anyone, right? I was inspired to create the zine after experiencing a situation where someone was trying to manipulate me into staying in a relationship with them when I no longer wanted to be in it. Because I was walking away from this relationship, they resorted to harming themselves in order to play upon my sympathy, you know, and get me to come back. This was such a difficult experience for me because this person throughout our relationship did have a history of playing on my emotions in order to control me or kind of get me to do what they wanted me to do. When I decided that I was fed up with this sort of abuse, because let's call it what it is, you don't have to be physically harmed for it to still be abuse. I look at it as kind of like a psychological abuse. It's like mind games kind of abuse. And when I decided I was fed up with this type of manipulation, people said I was messed up for leaving because this person has mental health issues. But what they failed to understand, because they weren't in my relationship, and also I do believe people treat their romantic partners differently than they treat their friends sometimes, you know? And I just saw a different side to this person that maybe this person's friends didn't see. But anyways, that's besides the point. It just got to a point where this person wasn't taking care of themselves, and I understand the complexities of their situation. I totally 100% relate to the struggles of mental illness and what it does, but I realized that this person was weaponizing their mental health to keep me close. And while other people don't believe this because they weren't in my position, and like I said, they weren't in my relationship with this person, no matter what they thought or what they believed to be right, I had to do what was right for myself because I was the one struggling with this. I was the one in this relationship, and I can walk away. That's what I did. I did what was best for me. They then decided to hurt themselves or attempt to hurt themselves really badly in order for me to, you know, not break up with them, which I saw that as manipulation and an insult to people that have suicidal thoughts and struggle with depression. This is not saying that that person is not struggling with mental illness. They are, and I sympathize with that. And this is also not saying that everyone that harms themselves or attempts to harm themselves just does it for attention or manipulation. I'm not saying that at all. I just want to be very clear that I'm not generalizing this. I'm just telling you a specific experience I've had. I believe two things can be true at once. I believe someone can struggle with mental health and also be an asshole. And, you know, just because I realized that didn't make it any easier. It was something that I struggled with. I still struggle with. I'm still working through this because it didn't happen that long ago, but I felt like I didn't really have anyone to turn to or anyone I could trust because it was very complex and there was a lot of moving parts and there was a lot of factors into it, and everyone had an opinion about my choices. Everybody had an opinion about what I did, and I wanted to deal with it on my own. I didn't want to have to rely on anyone or use anyone as a soundboard for it, so I turned to zines. I wanted to make a zine to process my emotions regarding that situation, so that's what I did. And I didn't have to share this with anyone, but I decided to because I felt like if other people are going through this situation, then they'll now know that they're not alone. So why am I telling you this? Well, I didn't need anyone's permission to make that zine, is what I'm trying to say, is that I was inspired to make it from my own experience, something that I felt like I wanted to express and to vent about and to regulate my emotions. So I was following my heart, as corny as that sounds, but that's exactly what I was doing. I didn't have anyone else in mind when I made that zine. I wasn't worried what someone would think when they read it. I wasn't trying to make anyone look bad or start drama. I made it for me, without caring what anyone else had to say about it. I needed a way to process what happened, so I turned to zines. And although I know this type of zine is of like sharing traumatic experiences is not everyone's cup of tea, like I know that, you know, not everybody wants to read something like that or hear about it. That's why I gave the trigger warning, you know, but I didn't know another way to like give an example. I just like my zines. I like sharing myself in my videos with you guys to let you know that I'm a person and I go through what you go through. And when I talk about zine making, I'm talking about it from a very personal standpoint, because I think everybody's zine is personal to them. It doesn't have to be dark and sad like that. It could be happy, it could be joyous, it could be bright, you know. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't make zines to keep people interested in me, you know. I'm not creating art to be able to maintain a following or whatever. Like, who follows me, I love them. I like whoever likes me, you know. Like, I'm trying to connect with the people that want to connect with me. So when you make your zines, I want you to keep that in mind. Like, you're not making the zines to make people like you, you know. You're making them because you are trying to see yourself expressed in a tangible way out in the universe. You're trying to be seen and validated by yourself first. And if people relate to that and they see that and then they dig that, that is amazing. That's awesome. You just made yourself a community. So that's why I think it's important to share your zines. But like I said, you absolutely don't have to. Anyway, I know that was kind of a lot for zine making, right? Brie, why do you always go so deep? I don't know. Is it because I'm autistic? Is it because I'm a Scorpio? I don't know. But I hope it helps someone. I hope my insights are just not me just blabbering to, you know, my camera. I hope that they're touching someone, you know. But like I said, there's a certain kind of freedom to just being yourself. The more authentic you are, the more it weeds out people that really aren't supporting you, and you want to create that community that is supporting you, and I'm supporting you, and other people that will see your work are supporting you. But just a reminder that you don't have to share every single thing you make. Like, a lot of it can be for you, just like the example I gave with my zine. That was for me. I decided to share it because my zine club, I posted it on my zine club, but I decided to share it because I'm like, you know, maybe someone can relate. That was a really scary, complicated situation, and it's real. I'm a person, and there are other people I want to connect with, and maybe they're gonna connect with it. Like, I really hope that no one has to go through something like that, but that's real. That's what it's the human experience, you know, and that's what zines are about. Zines are about real experiences, lived experiences, life. So whether you're participating in Zinetober and you're doing the challenges literally and then making a zine out of the prompt, or you make your own meaning out of it and make that prompt your bitch, because that's what zines are about, you know. Find your own meaning in things. Make your own zine based off the prompt. Like, and you can't do it wrong. I'm just guiding you. I'm giving you some examples and sharing why you should participate in Zinetober, but you can't do this wrong at all. Whether you decide to make zines that are happy or serious or whatever, your zine should be a safe space for you to just be you. But they don't have to be spooky because it's in the month of October. I like to make mine kind of spooky because I love Halloween. My birthday's in October. I'm an October baby. I love October. I love everything about October. But you don't have to make your zines Halloween themed or anything. The prompt list is just there to help push you to make a lot of work. Zinetober is about creating positive habits within yourself that makes you more productive. It should push you to not wait for inspiration to strike and just start making. So I've listed a few Zinetober prompts in the description. I really encourage you all to do these and try them out. Like I said, you don't have to do a zine every single day, but at least attempt to. I think you'll be really happy to see your progress throughout the month. Like, you know, when you look back on everything that you created for the month of October, I think, I keep saying this, it'll help build confidence, but it will actually prove to yourself that you can make work on demand. When December rolls around and you start complaining about zine block or art block or whatever, you can look back on October and prove to yourself that you can create things, you can make things, you don't need to wait around for inspiration. Even if it's crappy, even if it's not good, you can make stuff. You can prove it to yourself by participating in Zinetober, which I hope everybody watching this video does. I hope that this video really explained what the prompt list is for and ways that you can use it to grow as an artist. If you have a Zinetober prompt list that you would like to share with us, please leave it in the comments. I would love to check it out and see it. I don't have a prompt list of my own, but I am following a couple of zine prompts. So if you want to see my progress or you want to see the zines that I expect to make in October, you can follow me on Instagram. Have fun with this, be authentic, be brave, be kind, and I will see you guys in the next video.